Hey guys, so I started my day like I normally do. YouTube open, usually Tim the Tatman, Doc, Swag, something. Catch up on some Warzone news, some gameplay, see what everybody's doing. So today I decided to make a reaction video because I watched this video with Tim, and we don't really see eye to eye on this, and I just want to give my take on it. So I hope everybody enjoys the video. Take it easy.
Morning, even afternoon, we got a banger for y'all today, baby. What we got for you here is a hot topic. Warzone versus Warzone 2. A lot of people out there talking about how bad Warzone 2 is between people that just casually play, and on top of that, people that are content creators versus the original Warzone that we played in Verdansk and Caldera. I see a lot of people saying that they're gonna go back to Caldera instead of Warzone 2. Call of Duty community in general, we're very, I think we're very bougie. We like to complain a lot.
That's true.
I kind of feel like we're the kind of person, like, we got a taste for like Fiji water, and if we go to a restaurant and they don't have Fiji water, we're inconvenienced. Does that make sense?
No!
And it's not
No! Fiji water is garbage, Tim. It's garbage.
necessarily, it's not, you
Ice
know,
Mountain's
saying
where it's
much
at.
of anything like, oh, it's like, you know, we can't have tap water anymore, right? Now it's like, we need some Fiji, you know?
All right, so I can't wait for him to bring it up later. So you are saying we can't have tap water because that's what removing slide canceling is. You're catering to the people that want to cry and whine, and they want their Fiji water. So you want to take away slide canceling. So you're taking away the tap water. Anyway.
I have a hot take here. This is me personally. I don't think Warzone 2 is that bad.
Okay, not that bad is not what we're looking for, especially when we had a game that played so well. You have a company that made... I would have to look this number up, but I know it was in the billions first quarter with Warzone 2. Billions! You've been doing this for over a decade, and they give us a game that's not that bad. That's not what the community wants. We don't want a not that bad game. Warzone 2 was literally a step backwards from Warzone 1. They took something that ran completely smooth, said they wanted a new engine. The new engine is not working the way they thought it would, and this is what we're left with.
I don't think it's that bad. I see on my For You page, I see a ton of my other, we'll say, colleagues, right? Complaining about movement and stuff like that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm glad I don't have to slide cancel anymore. Me personally. I didn't like having to slide cancel.
Oh, who said you had to slide cancel, Tim? Is there a rule book that I'm missing here that I was supposed to get with the Warzone where it says you have to slide cancel? No one has to slide cancel. No one made you do it. You don't have to do it. So how about instead of complaining about it and having it removed from the game, you just don't do it. The people that don't want to do it, don't do it. Guess what? I don't like to sit in corners and camp, so I don't do it. I don't like to be a little bitch and just hide there and wait for somebody to come in, so I don't do it. Anyway.
I think a lot of the reason a lot of the people are like complaining is because there's not as much of a potential for outplay, right? They took, I think that's the biggest complaint. They took the skill gap and they shrunk it, right? They basically just kind of made it so if you run into someone that's super, super good, they might not be able to 1v4 you, right?
You're not 1v4ing anyone in Warzone 2. Shrinking the skill gap made absolutely there's no shrinking. Right now, the only outplaying someone is aiming faster, drop shotting, and jumping around like a rabbit. That's it. Because you have teams that are sitting in corners in buildings. Just, they play scared. You're 12 minutes into a game and you run into a building and you get absolutely ripped by someone with a shotgun or an SMG, and you look up and they have 1 kill so far. 1 or 2 kills. Like, what have you been doing for 12 minutes, kid? What have you been doing? Get the fuck out there and fight. Go fight somebody. Stop sitting in corners like a little... Oh, campers. Anyway, there's no... Yeah, they removed the skill gap. Completely. Could you imagine if they said, hey, Kobe, you can't train for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. because the other NBA players are only training for 1 to 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. He trained for a skill gap. People learned how to slide cancel. Do I like quick scopers? Do I like snipers? No. Do I, as long as they're not cheating, do I think that quick scoping or sniping should be removed from the game? No, it's a skill that they've learned. I used to be a quick scoper. Do you know how long it takes to get good at that? To really master the aiming and getting that fast at killing somebody and hitting that one shot? I know it's a skill. Do I like it? No. It sucks. It sucks to get quick scoped. It sucks to get sniped from 4 football fields away. But that's a skill gap. Me and my team running up a mountain or something, and there's a sniper 4 football fields away, and he's plunking us off one at a time and wipes all 4 of us. That's a skill. Are we going to remove that skill gap? Because I can't turn around and knock that guy? Not a chance in hell. So to just cry about slide canceling like it's something that shouldn't exist is ridiculous to me.
And a lot of people are saying they're catering to the casuals.
They are catering.
Well, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I think the casuals are the one. A lot of people, the content, being a content creator is really interesting because I think a lot of people think that we have a lot of power that we don't. That makes sense? Like I can just text someone and be like, bro, put movement back in. And they'll listen to me.
Tim, I'm gonna need you to send that text message, please, because we want movement put back in. A lot of us,
or something like that. But I do know a lot of people have gone back to Caldera, and they're playing it and they're enjoying it. I think the honest answer is if you want to do that, then go for it.
If you're playing Warzone 2 and you enjoyed the old Warzone and you haven't played it in a long time, I highly suggest going back and just playing a few games. The mechanics of the game, it's so smooth the way it runs. Even if you're not a slide cancel person, the gameplay is the game is butter. The game is butter. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. I'm a boomer.
It's so
I'm
smooth.
an old guy.
You're not a fucking boomer, Tim. You're
I'm
like
glad
35 years old.
I don't have to slide cancel anymore.
You never had to.
I am.
You never had to. You never had to, and I watch your gameplay. I watch Tim's videos. I have way too much time investing in watching Tim's videos because Tim by far is the GOAT of content creation. He just does it right, okay? Tim's the best, period. Doesn't mean I gotta agree with everything he says. I watch way too much of Tim's content, and I'm gonna say, Tim, sorry to hurt your feelings. You were never good at slide canceling. Never. So I can understand why you're not gonna be on our side with this one, because it kind of looked like an afterthought for you. Like it was just something you were throwing in at the end before Warzone 2 came out because you needed to do it for content. But if you were somebody that trained, if you worked at it, I worked hard at slide canceling. I haven't been a content creator for that long, but I will say in the last 4 to 5 months, I decided that my gameplay was going to change and I was going to put work into this. My gameplay has come so far, and I put a lot of work into slide canceling and fighting 1v2s, 1v3s, 1v4s, learning how to get out of situations that I was in. So to just go, oh, that's a skill gap. Yeah, it's a skill gap. It's a skill gap. Why did we take it away? Are we going to tell Ray Lewis, like, stop hitting the weight room, stop training so hard? You're putting people in body bags out here on the field. That's what he's training for. That's a skill gap. Maybe you'll get it now that I reference football.
I'm glad I'm not over here slide canceling, hitting all my keys, like my fingers. I'm grateful. I am actually happy I don't have to slide cancel anymore. Basically, you can't outplay people anymore. Essentially, I think that kind of
really can't. Right? You really can't.
There's no real outplay, right? It's hard for a really decent player now to actually get a squad wipe because the skill gap is so squished.
So in original Warzone, whether it was slide canceling, just movement in general, you could outplay 2, 3, 4 people sometimes, depending on their skill level. And even if you couldn't, you could sometimes movement your way out of it. So right now, if I push my way into a building in Warzone 2 and there's 4 people, and I've come across this, there's a team in there literally sitting in each corner and you go in and it's almost like a firing squad, because this is how scared these people play. But with slide canceling, a lot of times, could I outplay those 4 people in that small room? No, usually not. Could I slide cancel quickly and get out of that room or out of that situation? A lot of times I could, and maybe take on 1 or 2 of those guys. But that movement, that skill gap, allowed me to exit that room without dying and possibly getting outside of the building where my teammates might be. Now I can fight 1 or 2 of those guys while my teammates help with the other 2. So that's where this has come in. I mean, getting in gunfights now with a full squad and you're on your own, I've taken out 3 max in Warzone 2, and I was a hair away from death. 4, good luck. I mean, Joe maybe. Dude's amazing. I'll give him that. I don't know how he does it half the time.
Do I think there should be a skill gap? Yes. But
what is
do I
it?
think movement is that skill gap? No. Does that make sense? Do you got?
It makes sense to you, Tim, but movement is that skill gap. What is left as a skill gap if it's not movement? Because right now it's running into someone face to face, aiming faster than they do, hopping around like a bunny, laying down on your tummy, drop shotting. That's what we're gonna call a skill gap. Is a guy that can lay down on his belly faster and shoot me. I think that's more trash than slide canceling.
If you really want that movement and stuff, I think the right call is to go back to Caldera 100%.
I'm there.
Because you got that movement back there.
We still play Warzone 2.
And it's really interesting because it almost seems like it's like you almost have the casual community versus the sweats. That makes sense, where it's in the Warzone community, where it's like you have people that are sweats that are like these bots, and these people that aren't good are being rewarded, and I can't squad wipe anymore. And then you have these casuals where it's like, I don't have to try as hard, and I could potentially get a kill on someone that's way better than me.
Yes! That's the problem! The TTK is so high, and they're sitting in corners. I can give my grandma the remote control, Tim, and she can get a kill. There's no skill gap anymore. That you just said it. So this is why people are so upset with this game right now. It's frustrating.
That makes sense. Me personally, the funny part is I'm in the middle, right? I'm not a sweat. I don't consider myself a sweat. Do I consider myself a casual? I guess yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm in the middle, right? Is that fair? Now we're in this spot where we're like, wow, I guess Verdansk wasn't that bad. We're in the middle of Caldera. We're like, this map is atrocious.
Why are they pulling things? That's the real problem. I guarantee right now, if Call of Duty announced that next week they're going to release Rebirth and Fortune's Keep again, but it's going to be on premium servers and it's going to cost you $100 to get back into those games, I promise you that shit would sell like hotcakes. I take my money. Take my money. Honestly, I'll pay $100 per map to get that shit back. Why do they remove things? So why couldn't they keep Verdansk and keep Rebirth Island and keep Fortune's Keep and just add Ashika Island and add the new map from Warzone 2? Because they wanted a new engine that's not working the way it's supposed to anyway? Gameplay is clunky as hell at best in this game. I don't care how many times I've said that. So, no one needed the new cutscene. No one needed a Warzone 2 logo. You could have left the shit alone. Just give us the maps. People that are complaining at that point just have nothing better to do with their time. Like, what would there be by now? 8 or 9 maps? 10 maps? If you got all these maps and Warzone works at putting out 3-4 new maps every year and you're complaining still, you got nothing better to do with your life and you're just here to complain. You're going to complain about movement? Go play the bigger maps then. Go play Verdansk. So what if they're slide canceling in Verdansk? You afraid you're going to get taken out while you're sitting on top of a 80-floor high-rise, sniping, peeking through your little scope? What do you think? People are running up the 80 flights of stairs, slide canceling out onto the roof? If that's what happens, I guess you should have had more claymores set up or something. I don't know. Then you need to learn how to play that game better. But why do they keep taking these maps away? They just put Fortune's Keep in, and they took it away from us. What the hell was the point of spending that development money? I don't understand it. Anyway.
This map is terrible. There's rocks everywhere. I can't walk up anything. The time to kill is crazy. Do you guys remember? I mean, you remember the DMR? We talk about time to kill now.
I don't think these 2 new maps in Warzone 2 are terrible at all. I think the game itself, the gameplay is terrible. I think if you took these 2 new maps and you rendered them and dropped them into the old Warzone and reopened all that back up, I think these maps would be doing phenomenal. And the people, like I said, the people that are complaining are just there to complain. I think these maps would be killing it.
I remember the DMR. You remember the when Caldera first came out, time to kill was crazy. They did fix that. I got to give credit there, right? Do you understand the point I'm making, though? We were complaining in Verdansk, we're complaining in Caldera, and here we are in Al Mazrah, and this is a shocker, we're complaining. If I could have Verdansk with like balloons and stuff, that'd be elite. Like and I think that's kind of where I'm at with this whole thing. If we could like combine kind of everything over the years that we've really changed.
But so that's what would have happened if they left Warzone 1 alone and just added the maps and they stopped taking things away. Because if you had your Verdansk map, it would have had balloons in it and it would have had the new movement. So you would have had what you wanted without removing slide canceling. So let's stop doing that. Let's stop with the best of both worlds, but only if it gives us what I want. Like, everything's in there. Like I said, I can't stand quickscopers, but they're going to be in there. So let's stop crying about the slide canceling. We would rather play Rebirth and Fortune's Keep and play all close quarters. Why? You're a giant map player, Tim. So now we're going to cater to what you want? This is where the problem came in, right? It was what a bunch of people wanted, but they didn't care about what the people that were good at slide canceling wanted. So this is what you're doing with maps now. Like, oh, give me this and give me a hybrid of that, and we just rotate those 2 maps and we're good. No, we're not good. Because not all of us want to sit on our tummies sniping up in a huge building. Not all of us want to run 80 flights of stairs. I don't want to run around a map for 5 minutes looking for people. I want to get in the fight. I want to drop in, hit prison, and I want to run into 6 people. I want to get in that fight. And then I want to get some guns, and then I want to find 6 more people. That's how we play. And if you don't play like that, that's fine. That's your game style. But then don't cry when you're sitting in a building and I come sliding around a corner because you want to sit on top of a group of barrels to try to kill me and then laugh. I killed that guy. No, you didn't, because I slid around your ass and I fucked you and your boy up. You were waiting to kill me, but you couldn't, because guess what? I had a skill gap. Now I don't, so I come in and then I get killed by you and your boy sitting in opposite corners, and now we got him. Yeah, you got no skill, kid. You got no skill at all.
This fire shotgun is, I dare use the word plaguing Warzone 2. And no, there's nothing being addressed. Stuff like that, bad. That's bad.
A shotgun is what it is. Watch a person get blasted in the chest from 10 feet away with a shotgun. We keep calling it the fire shotgun. The fire's just a cool effect. Get shot with a shotgun from 10, 15 feet away and watch what it does to you. You're dead. It's realistic. I don't understand what the complaint is. You don't want to get shot with it? Don't get that close to the person. Don't move into a close quarters fight. That's all there is to it. If you can't handle it, don't do it.
Where's Caldera? It's interesting, man. I'm just old. I'm an old man. The community asks for changes. The developer makes changes, and they're not the changes the community wanted, and they're mad.
That doesn't make any sense. I would completely understand that. So you just said the community asks for changes, which I think the Call of Duty community is pretty vocal about the changes that they want. Then you said the developers make changes, but they're not what the community wanted, so then the community gets mad. Of course. If they're not the changes that the community is asking for, why wouldn't they get mad? If you make donuts and your community is saying, hey, we want strawberry filled donuts, and then you start making peanut butter filled donuts, of course the community is going to be mad. Nobody asked for peanut butter filled donuts, bro. We asked for strawberry filled donuts, and you gave us shit filled with peanut butter. I don't understand that thought process. So anyway, yeah, I didn't make this to necessarily just go at it with Timmy, but everybody's got a difference of opinions, and I don't feel like the people on, I don't want to say my side, but the people that side with me, I don't feel like their voice is heard enough. I feel like it's the crying community that gets heard the most, and it just needs to be addressed. And I just feel like people that were working towards getting better at the game with certain skill sets just got completely demolished. We got torn down by the part of the community that was like, I don't like people having this movement over me. So anyway, Warzone 2 definitely better after the newest update, but still nowhere near where it needs to be. And that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Take it easy.